very good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. Today we'll be looking at Psalms 102. So turn to your Bibles, either physical or digital, whichever is to your comfort, and let's get into it. First, we look at a brief overview of the psalm before we take a small point of reflection. So this psalm begins by a man who is asking God to change his life, which is fading away. He says that misery has pushed him to death and that his enemies have destroyed his reputation. He says that grief has deteriorated his health and that he gnaws at his bones. He says that his diet is tears. He says that how Jerusalem has fallen because God has allowed it. And then he goes on to say how, now this is, he goes on to say how God allowed Jerusalem to be destroyed and how God has in a sense forsaken them. And finally he ends the psalm by saying how if God is truly eternal and if God is truly loving and if God is truly powerful, he will not change. So in the last line he says that he prays that God will be considerate and that his character will find a way to raise his people from their death. So this is a psalm of lament, and what we can take away from this is that similarly now this man is going through a very tough time. He says that sometimes his food is tears and that he even gnaws meaning he eats his own bones or he grinds his own bones, and he is in a very 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 downtrodden state. But still we can see that at the end of the psalm he is ending with hope, saying that God will in his eternal character God will raise his people. That's what we should take away. So even in our lives, in our darkest moments, in our moments of isolation, where we feel alone, where we feel like it's no hope at all, this psalm reminds us that our God is eternal and our God is unchanging. Our God does not change. And this psalm reminds us that even through all of these moments, we will get through this moment, and after getting through this moment we will cross the barrier and we will become better examples of God's own mercy. Now why do I say God's own mercy? Because through these struggles, through this pain, it is God who gives us the strength to persevere these pains. We do not persevere this pain on our own. God is also there with us, alongside us, going through this pain with us. We are not alone in this pain. That is also something we should remind ourselves. And that is why we should never feel isolated, because even in our lowest moments God is there with us and he will get us through all of these moments of pain. He will help us persevere all of this pain and come out of it in the tunnel. Come out of the tunnel. So the takeaway from the psalm would be that even in our lowest moments, do not feel isolated and have hope. Do not feel isolated because God is there with us, and do not lose hope because our God is unchanging and he is sovereign. So he will help us get through it and we will come out of it and we will reach the other side of the tunnel. Thank you.